Christmas will be here in just a couple of days, so we're making a few last-minute pickups for Christmas dinner. You're watching Jamaica Magazine, and I'm your host, Audrey Williams. The magazine unfolds right now.
Toys in every store, but the pretty sight to see is the Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Oh, the sights and sounds of Christmas Jamaican style. Help us tell your stories through pictures. Or how about songs or poems bigging up Jamaica? We'd love to showcase them on the pages of Jamaica Magazine. Email us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm and be sure to include your contact info. Let's end the year with a bang, and Christmas time in Jamaica is the most wonderful time of the year. Good day, I'm Samantha Allen, and this is your JIS News for Monday, December 23. Local and overseas investors will now find it easier to do business in Jamaica following the passage of the Companies Amendment Act in the Senate. The bill, which was passed in the upper house last Thursday, had been previously approved by the lower house on December 17. It amends the Companies Act to authorize the use of a single business registration form in order to improve the ease with which businesses can be registered in Jamaica.
This bill provides for the creation of a so-called one-stop shop at the Companies Office of Jamaica to allow persons who are registering new companies and businesses to do all of these different registrations through Companies Office by the completion of a single business registration form along with their incorporation documents for the company.
The passage of the bill forms part of government's economic reform program. Meanwhile, Commerce Minister Anthony Hilton says government is committed to advancing measures for reforming the business environment. The minister points to legislation such as the recently passed Security Interest in Personal Property and the Omnibus Incentive Acts, which he says are crucial factors in driving economic growth.
In addition, the recently launched MSME and entrepreneurship policy recognizes the pivotal role of the MSMEs in driving the expansion of the private sector and in job creation, and contained strategy to support the sector.
Minister Hilton was addressing the recent Private Sector Organization of Jamaica annual Members Christmas Luncheon. He said public-private partnership was what would allow the country to achieve transformational growth. The Kingston Public Hospital has received a generous support of $4,300 to assist with medical supplies for the treatment of breast cancer patients. The donation was made last Tuesday by Coalition for Jamaica out of the United States. Senior Medical Officer at the KPH, Dr. Patrick Burasing, says the help will put the healthcare facility in a better position to adequately detect and treat patients.
The main aim of the Ministry of Health is to really cure or even help to alleviate suffering in cancers, all cancers, and breast cancer being one of the highest incidents of cancers. Any help will be greatly appreciated.
The recently completed report of the National Education Inspectorate's Chief Inspector was tabled in the House of Representatives last Tuesday. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites has invited parliamentarians to give their feedback on the report, which provides a look at the performance of the island's more than 1,000 public schools.
The Ministry of Education stands ready to facilitate whatever suggestions for improvement the honourable members may have.
About 2,000 St. Anne residents, including people with disabilities who wish to study at night, now have that opportunity. That's thanks to the recent launch of the St. Anne Northwestern's Empowerment Program Skills Training and Night School. It will offer a number of subjects and skills training courses to residents who will receive NCT VET certification. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites has lauded Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Anne, Dr. Dayton Campbell, for initiating the program. He also encouraged residents to make use of the opportunity, which begins in January.
What you are going to be involved in is a most important educational venture which you should take very seriously and which all Jamaica should look upon as a means whereby people who need a second chance, who need a skill, who need preparation to work can in fact achieve those objectives.
And finally, current and former employees of the Jamaica Information Service were honored and feted by the agency on the weekend. 7 recent retirees were celebrated for their years of service at the Christmas soiree hosted Saturday at the New Kingston Conference Center. Meanwhile, Special Projects Manager Andreen Davidson received the agency's inaugural Employee of Choice Award. Radio producer Vaughn Davis was named runner-up. Chief Executive Officer Donna Marie Rowe lauded the contribution made by the former and current staff members.
Let me express my gratitude to all our key stakeholders and team members who have supported the agency throughout the year. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to soaring to new heights in the coming year with God's help.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching. For almost 20 years, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, with the help of several partners, has helped to create sustainable national development.
Some of our major accomplishments for the year was that we provided 1,084 households with improved access to water. We provided the NSWMA with 52 garbage disposal units, skips, a garbage truck. We worked on 28 sanitation projects in the primary schools. We also, in the inner cities, we provided 100 communal units, sanitation units as well. We worked on water supplies and our usual things, jobs training, skills training, education. We did infrastructure projects.
And JSIF executed these programs through the implementation of 9 projects in rural and urban communities, all geared towards reducing the impacts of poverty and crime. During the last financial year, JSIF's focus has been placed on rural development. The organization has rolled out several projects based on agriculture, tourism and infrastructural development, as well as sanitation and social protection strategies. One such project, JSIF's Rural Economic Development Initiative, READY, through its $15 million World Bank loan, has played supporting roles in rural agriculture and tourism with the launch of 12 projects in Manchester. Financial as well as business development support was given to these groups in the areas of business management, disaster mitigation, project management, greenhouse technology and organizational strengthening, all of which have helped to sustain these businesses and foster economic independence for community members, as they too have benefited through gainful employment. Flower Hill Cottage is a rural cassava processing facility that has been making significant strides, and what started as a small business has blossomed into a lucrative brand, Western Bammies.
JSIF gave us 17 million. The money goes for expansion of the building and also equipment. We have an industrial grater which can grate at least 1,500 pounds of cassava for the day. We have the press, an industrial press, where we press the cassava dry that it can go through the sieve. We also have, we get 3 industrial stoves from JSIF that put with what we did have here. I take this opportunity in this video to thank JSIF for what they have done for us, and by the help of God, we are going to go further.
JSIF has also given attention to roads in several farming communities with help from the Caribbean Development Bank-funded Community Investment Project, CIP. The badly eroded roads in Hayfield, St. Thomas often hampered the delivery of crops to buyers. But thanks to the almost $40 million cash injection from the CDB, over 400 residents now have access to upgraded roads.
It affects us very bad because we couldn't get no vehicle to come to for our produce, and coffee, everything. It was just spoiled. We did have so many landslides on the road. When a vehicle coming up, the person have to come out of the vehicle. Sometimes we have to come out, push it. Come out, somehow we have to ease up the vehicle for it to come because it was so bad. I have to say thanks to JSF for this project that they do for us, because this road helps us to take us our produce to wherever place, out to the market, wherever we're going. So we have to give thanks to them.
And along with fixing roads, JSAFE through the Petro-Carib Fund and Ministry of Education gave several rural schools new sanitary amenities. Over 2,000 students across 10 parishes now have access to modern bathroom facilities. Since its inception, JSIF has made significant contributions to nation building. Evidence of this can be found in the organization's high response rate to fulfill the requests made by community representatives island-wide.
JSIF will continue to focus on sustainable community development activities, in addition to enabling growth and job creation in the agriculture and tourism sectors.
For more information on JSIF, call their toll-free line 1-888-991-2356-7. Send an email to feedback@jsif.org or visit their website, jsif.org. And remember to like their Facebook page. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, investing for community development.
Bamboo growers, companies involved in the manufacturing of bamboo products. Get registered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ is a member of the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, and the government of Jamaica wants to develop a standard-led bamboo industry that could lead to job creation and economic growth. Companies, your products could be stamped with the regionally recognized Jamaica Made Mark certification and the National Certification Mark. Get registered and receive quality training and international certification. For more information, call the Bureau's Special Projects Department at 926-3140 or visit the BSJ at 6 Winchester Road, Kingston 10.
Welcome to the FSC Minute. I am Nadine Newsom. Today we continue to explore anti-money laundering and its implications for the FSC regulated sectors. Joining me is Larice Edwards-Brown, Director of Investigations and Enforcement at the FSC. Welcome to the FSC Minute, Larice.
Thank you for having me, Nadine.
Larice, what does the FSC do to ensure that the insurance, securities, and pensions industries comply with anti-money laundering legislations?
The Financial Services Commission issues guidelines to these sectors, the insurance sector, pension sector, and the securities sector. Now, we try to ensure that at a minimum, these entities have controls in place that will prevent them from being used as conduits for money laundering or for terrorist financing. However, the licensees have a responsibility to ensure that they have prudent controls within their place of business to ensure that the guidelines and any government enacted laws are maintained within their organizations.
Does the FSC approve forms, requirements, or policies as it relates to compliance by regulated entities for anti-money laundering?
The FSC does not approve forms or policies used or procedures used by any of our regulated entities in seeking to develop a robust anti-money laundering or countering or financing of terrorism framework. we seek to ensure that they have minimum standards. And we also try to do an assessment of these entities to ensure that there are certain standards that are maintained within these institutions. But the whole process, though, goes beyond policies and procedures. We have to rely on our employees that are within these sectors to ensure that there is a presence of mind when you're dealing with customers who seek to do businesses with your entities.
And how does a Know Your Customer procedure fit into all of this?
The Know Your Customer procedure is very relevant. It helps the employee in the financial institution and also the compliance officer in the institution to understand the employee, know who is it that they're dealing with. So when a transaction seemingly is outside of the profile of that customer, then they can make certain decisions. That includes making a report to the Financial Investigations Division.
Thank you, Larice. My guest today was Larice Edwards-Brown, Director of Investigations and Enforcement at the FSC. For the FSC Minute, I am Nadine Newsom.
Driving in holiday traffic or really any other time of the year demands your constant attention and vigilance to make sure you get from point A to B safely. It's far easier to do that if you follow a few simple rules. Stay alert. Do not be distracted by your cell phone, any other gadget or passenger while driving. When traveling at night, park in a well-lit area and always keep your car doors locked, even when at a stoplight. Make sure you have enough fuel in case there's an emergency and you need to divert from your usual route. In the event that you feel threatened while driving, stay calm and do not react aggressively. Instead, drive to a busy, safe place or the nearest police station. Follow these few tips and navigate the busy streets safely this holiday season and indeed at all times.
The secret's out of the bag. We have a feature on a very special Christmas staple.
By the pint, the bushel, the quart, or the liter, whether green or dry, they come to buy. Lovers of this grain pour into our markets to buy their share of gungo peas, another signal that Christmas is coming. Mention gungo and several images come to mind, one of the first being Christmas. Come this time of year, Jamaican food baskets get a welcome addition, and the smells emanating from kitchens island-wide promise not only Christmas puddings, sorrel and ham, but pots bubbling over with gungo peas. From generations past, the Jamaican Christmas tradition of replacing our regular red-tinged rice and peas with the brownish tinge of gungo lives on.
I love gungo peas, for it is a delicious dish for Christmas. I love gungo rice and peas.
In addition to the fare of gungo rice and peas, there are some other favorites made from this pea. There is gungo stew peas, similar in preparation to the year-round favorite, but with a changed color and snappy taste. And on Saturday, traditional soup day, gungo soup will most likely be dished out. A visit to our sister Caribbean islands will see other gungo dishes, such as jug jug in Barbados and a cook-up in Guyana. Cajanus Cajun, the scientific name for what we know as gungo peas, is also called pigeon peas or congo peas in other countries. It is a legume, a food group where the edible seeds all bear in pods. Gungo is rich in protein, carbohydrates, thiamine, niacin, sodium, calcium, potassium, and iron. The flexible gungo plant grows to heights of 1 to 3 meters or more. and produces dozens of pods which are easily picked and shelled. Most of the plants begin flowering from late November to February, and most trees will bear until March the next year. The grains, which are green, yellow, or brown in color, are quite versatile and can be used green or dry. When used dry, however, the grains require more soaking and cooking, as they contain carbohydrates which are not easily digested. Lovers of these peas look forward to this time of the year, when most of the trees are bearing and gunga is in good supply. This nutritious family favorite, which will grace our tables this holiday season, will be around for a little while in the new year. Gunga peas, another Christmas favorite of many Jamaican and Caribbean peoples.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
I spend quality time with my family every day.
It is very important because at the end of the day, you have children around you and you have to show them that, okay, this is the foundation, this is the way it's supposed to be.
They keep the family together and in line, and especially with the boys.
Increased road usage during the festive season increases the likelihood of road crashes, which may mean the administering of blood. That's why there's always an appeal for persons to give blood. Remember, the life you save could be your own.
In the early years of blood transfusion, whole blood was given directly from a donor to a recipient. It was done quickly before the blood got a chance to clot. Then came a revolutionary discovery in the early 1900s. By adding anticoagulants and refrigerating blood, it was possible to store it for some time.
Our National Blood Transfusion Service, when it was developed in 1948, was the first blood transfusion service in the English-speaking Caribbean.
We had patients coming from the other islands. We sent blood to one or two other places.
Housed in 2 rooms at the government's bacteriological laboratory on North Street in Kingston, it was the only place in Jamaica where blood could be collected. Voluntary blood donation was encouraged, and to develop this system, the first voluntary committee was formed in 1952.
In the early days, the blood was collected in bottles. They had to be returned and re-sterilized, and in 1956 the system was changed to disposable equipment.
The acquisition of a mobile unit that year made it possible to collect blood outside the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew.
Voluntary committees were formed in each parish in getting people together to donate blood.
As the demand for the life-saving product grew, the blood bank was relocated to more spacious accommodations at 21 Slipen Road in February 1958, where it continues to serve the needs of the island's health institutions and its citizens.
Initially, we paid our donors to get the units. However, Jamaica stopped paying donors long before many other countries, and now our donors all come as voluntary, non-remunerated donors or replacement donors.
From expansion to modernization, the National Blood Transfusion Service, the NBTS in Kingston, has undergone several changes to improve its service to the country and keep pace with global standards. Through the initial support of voluntary committees, blood collection centers now operate in hospitals across the country.
And there are 9 such centers between Westmoreland and Port Antonio. All these centers are tasked with collecting units from donors. These units go to one of 3 centers across the island. Here, the headquarters at Slipen Road, or Cornwall Regional Hospital or University Hospital, where they are separated into components.
After blood comes from the donor room, 3 samples taken along with it are used to determine the blood group of the unit and also to exclude any unusual antibodies or transfusion-transmissible infections. In the meantime, the unit collected is separated into components and safety confirmation checked.
Then we actually dispatch the units to the respective hospitals that need blood.
And those needs are often urgent.
It was scary. I was pregnant and actually ended up in the hospital. This just seemed like the end for me, because if I need blood and there's none, how am I going to live? And this is why it's important for people to really have a continuous donation of blood.
The blood bank collects an average of 30,000 units per year. The plan is to increase that amount to meet the estimated 45,000 to 55,000 units in demand every year. In support of that mission, the Ministry of Health is currently rolling out a major modernization program. The aim is to achieve 3 main goals.
1, to increase the supply of blood. 2, to increase the appropriate usage of the blood. And 3, to decrease the wastage of blood.
In advancing its multi-pronged approach to modernization, a number of documents were developed with the help of the Pan American Health Organization. These include transfusion guidelines, a 5-year strategic plan of operation for 2013 to 2017, and the Caribbean Regional Standard. And as part of its 65th anniversary this year, the NBTS has partnered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica to develop the first Jamaican standards for blood transfusion service and blood banking.
We at the National Blood Transfusion Service are confident that with the new guidelines, a robust mobile system, and good marketing, we can in fact meet the needs of the country.
But meeting those needs will depend on every Jamaican.
I have been giving blood for over 5 years now. It is healthy to give blood, and everyone should donate blood.
I've been a blood donor since 2004. Ever since I started, it became a competition between my mother and myself.
And it's a good feeling to think that you're really helping.
Helping to keep family members, neighbors, co-workers and classmates alive. The National Blood Transfusion Service continues to build on a foundation of service, encouraging voluntary blood donation, providing the lifeblood of a people.
And that's our show for today, folks. It was great having you. Meet us again tomorrow, same place, same time. We'd love to hear from you. So, like us on Facebook, send us a tweet, email us, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Audrey Williams, wishing you a peaceful season.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.